The sun is so bright today. It is just below 60 degrees. I don't know why I tell you the temperature every video. Is that weird? I don't know. It's just, I find it striking that it's July and it's below 60 degrees. But hey, it's the far north. So get used to it. I titled, or I'm going to title, this video, "Is my mom racist?" And I'm going to answer it right out. No. At least in my opinion, no, she's not. But it's an open question. It's not a clickbaity title. I was going to title this, "My mom's a little racist," but I don't want people thinking she's short. So why do I question my mother on her racist attitudes, or lack thereof? Well, I had a conversation with her. She was telling me a story about this family who very much mistreated their children. They went on vacation, let the older kids, they left older kids looking after younger kids, and it all went off the rails, and they got their kids taken away for mistreatment. It's a terrible story. Then after she's done telling me the entire story and how appalled she is on it, she then says, "Oh, and they're black." And that little detail, I don't know, it kind of bothered me a little. Especially that it was tacked on the end like that. She could have told the entire story. It could have been anybody. It could have been Chinese people. It could have been white people. It could have been anybody. But to tack it on there at the end like that was an important detail. Like, oh, and they're black. It was weird to me. It was an odd thing to say. Now, I don't think she's racist in any way, shape, or form. I think this is how the story was presented to her by the media. And I've taken a media ethics course, and they tell you to be careful about what details you put in, what details you leave out. So in my media ethics class, I was given this story. New Year's baby. Every year, the paper and the news outlets all do the first baby of the new year in their whatever area they're in. It's a trite story. It's pretty damn, meaningless, but it's supposed to be like a feel-good story. People are supposed to yay, babies, you know? But this one went horribly, tragically off the rails. Because they did a little profile of the woman who had the baby. In fact, there's another part of ethics that has to do with New Year's babies where doctors will try and hold the baby to get it out at the right time, and all sorts of shenanigans surrounding the New Year's baby that don't matter at all. But they do it anyways. But let's take that and put it aside for a second and just talk about the media part of this. So they did a profile on this woman who had the New Year's baby. First baby of the new year. And in it, she talked about how she received welfare and that she was perfectly happy living on welfare. And the public, had a conniption. They were forming lynch mobs, apparently. How dare this woman have babies on our dime? Is that, that's an entirely different story all to itself. This was supposed to be a feel-good story, and now this woman, who the only thing she did was have a baby very close to the New Year, midnight time. That's it. It was supposed to be fun, and now this woman's life has been turned upside down because of it. So let's go back to our story about this black couple and their kids and the mistreatment of this kids. This couple, yeah, they should have their kids taken away from them. Their names and faces should be put up. This is their lives, yeah, should be upended because of this fiasco. But what does that mean for the rest of the black community? Right? Do their actions represent all of the American black community? Should we think less of other black people because these people mismanaged their kids in a strikingly bad way. And the answer, of course, is no. Just like when I see a white person, I don't think that they're going to shoot up a shopping mall or a school. Because most of those are from white people. Like, oh, there's another white person shooting up another school. Whoa, pothole. Every time one of these shootings happen, we want to know the race. We want to go, oh, is it a white evangelical that did this? Or was it a Middle Eastern terrorist? Or was this a gang shooting by a thug? What was this? And it's not because we want to fix that problem. It's not because we want to say, what's the systemic cause of this, and what, as a community, can we do to make this better? No, no, no. That's not why we do this. We do this to tally points. We say, oh, it's white people to blame for all of this because they're the ones shooting up places. Oh, it's black people's to blame for bad families because they're doing, they have absentee fathers and whatnot. It's always a blame game. We always want to be punitive to these people. We don't want to help them. We want to punish them. That's the name of the game. Even if these families, even if these people are law-abiding citizens, and that's the number one thing that gun owners say is, why are you punishing us law-abiding gun owners for a few radicals that are doing these things? Well, why do we punish all of Black America for the actions of a few? We do that all the time. All the time. And no one speaks out about that. And I'm not saying we should be just as harsh on all white people as we are on everybody else. I'm saying that we should have the same judgment for all people. Because we're all pretty much the same. Our differences are very, very slight. Most of them are literally skin deep. So what do? What can we do about this problem? Is it the media? Is it the media framing these things in such a way where they show the person's ethnicity first and the crime second? Or is it us seeing these things in ourselves? Are we hardwired to be racist, to be tribalistic? My mother is not going to discriminate against another person based on their race. I've never seen her do that. I've never seen her give a larger portion of a cookie to a white child than a black child. Never. Never has she done that. I don't think she has a racist bone in her body, but I do think that the way stories are presented to us are the way that we kind of tell them back. And in that way, the media has to be more responsible. And people acting like the media, like I'm doing right now. This is my personal blog channel. I'm just saying stuff that's happening in my life, ideas that I'm having. This is, well, I'd like to think that I'm trying to base this on a bit of fact. That said, I'm still responsible for what I'm saying right here. I'm putting this out here like I'm an authority, a person on the internet trying to disseminate information, trying to understand the world and give that understanding to another person. I have a responsibility in that. And if you don't think you do, if you're just putting this out here for a gaffe, then you got a serious problem, man. And remember, this goes beyond malicious intent. This goes beyond coming out here and being a troll and trying to stir up trouble. This is something that's kind of subconscious. Unless you're being a satirist, you kind of, oh, even if you're being a satirist, if you're being a satirist, man, what you're trying to do is turn a spotlight on it by mocking it. So yeah, even as a satirist, you kind of have a responsibility for the stuff you put out there. It's important. So those are my thoughts. This is what I'm trying to say. And there is just a lot of noise around here, but that's the problem when you blog and walk. Bye-bye.